the death penalty is another political agenda?
Ohio fails to meet 93% of the guidelines set forth to ensure fairness and accuracy in a capital punishment system.
The regular public do not know that it costs more to execute someone.
From a statistical standpoint, that we absolutely have executed innocent people.
Well, since then, it has been determined that that was faulty science.
Thank you very much for this honor. And thank you, Sister Helen, for being here tonight. Kevin asked me to say a few words, and I wanted to tell a quick story about Sister Helen. We started the Innocence Project in 2003, and it was John Cranley, who's a city councilman here in Cincinnati, and I. And our first task became to raise money. And I'm sure, Sister Helen's here tonight. She's going to be somewhere else tomorrow night and the night after. And, her passion is an inspiration for all of us. And just quick story, we had her as our first fundraiser for the Innocence Project, and we were totally disorganized, didn't know what we were doing, sent out all these invitations. We had a couple hundred people in a hotel room in the Westin, and we had a donor who was paying for all of this. And we're getting ready to the part we're going to introduce her and have her speak, and the donor comes over and says, where's the podium? Where's the microphone? You notice how there's a little riser here and a podium and a microphone, and the donor says, she's really short. You guys are disorganized. You probably don't remember this. You are so disorganized. And Sister Helen was standing to the side and sort of listening to this and just said, this is nonsense, and gets up and stands up on a chair. And I was expecting her to put her fingers in her mouth and whistle, but just starts yelling and just launches into her speech and had everybody transfixed within a few moments. And, of course, we raised a ton of money that night. So thank you very much for being here tonight and for what you did to help us get started. So I just want to quickly introduce the people at the table because they all have played a big part in this. This is Jennifer Bergeron, who's a staff attorney with the Innocence Project. Carla Hall, staff attorney with the Innocence Project. Jody Shore, who's policy analyst who worked on the bill. Carrie Wood, who's a staff attorney with the Innocence Project. Dominique Mix, who is a student in the Innocence Project and came to me and said, I really want to work on Kevin Keith's case. Can you introduce me to Rachel? And so it's that kind of spirit that we really celebrate tonight. And Michelle Berry, my wife, who was the person who, all the way back in December of 2007, we sort of came up with this idea for the bill. And she spent winter break working with a bunch of law students and wrote the first draft of the bill and the memo that went to the legislature that ultimately, 3 years later, was signed into law by Ted Strickland. Quickly, just want to note all the different people who played a part in this. Jim Petro, former Attorney General of Ohio, now is a big proponent of our cause, and without his help, we could not have done this. Columbus Dispatch. We had some conservative law and order Republicans who got behind this bill, like Bill Seitz here from Cincinnati and Bill Coley from Westchester, who's a representative in the House of Representatives. So this was a sort of perfect storm of a lot of different people and organizations coming together to make this happen. And Governor Strickland signed it into law on April 5th of this past year. Unfortunately, he will not be with us for another term. I don't know if there's another governor we've had recently that's been as good on these issues. But we're very happy, and thank you very much for being recognized for this. Also, one last thing I just remembered. The Ohio Public Defender's Office and Tim Young, Ohio Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, all these groups came together to help make this law possible. So thank you very much.